Hello and welcome to Security on Screen. I'm at the Dubai Police Headquarters to learn more about the content of the upcoming World Police Summit conference, which includes a strand on police innovation and resilience. I'm joined by Asma Suroor. Asma, tell me, why should a delegate attend the Police Innovation and Resilience Conference? What's to be gained?
Thank you so much, first of all. I'm quite pleased to be in this interview. I would say that we would like for our delegates, anyone that visits the World Police Summit, especially the Police Innovation and Resilience Conference, is for them to have quite the varied tools that can help any police officer, whether they are a police officer, any civilian working in a police force. They would have the tools to better understand and also better shape and achieve their goals that they would like to achieve in a work police environment. The conference, I should mention, so the conferences, all of the 6 conferences, we have different tracks for them. As for the Police Innovation and Resilience, we have 5 different tracks. The topics go along topics such as women in policing, we have innovation and technology, as well as organizational resilience, as well as transport and safety. So as you can see from the tracks, anything that has to do with improving the work environment of the police, this is the conference to come to. If, let's say, you are an aspiring police officer, you're still in uni, you're thinking of actually becoming a police officer, hopefully being a police chief or even a commander, this is the place to be to gain these kind of knowledge and tools to better understand your employees, better understand your community, because that part is quite crucial when it comes to community policing. So this is the conference to come to honestly have this kind of knowledge of improving the work environment for it to be even better and have a good future workforce.
So tell me specifically in regard to the police innovation and resilience element of the conference, what will be the hot topics under discussion?
First of all, I love talking about the hot topics when it comes to our tracks. We have quite the good topics for anyone that might be interested in things that has to do with mental well-being, officers' mental well-being. This is quite a hot topic internationally, I would say, especially after the pandemic. But especially when it comes to anyone that works in policing, as you can imagine, with certain missions, certain environment that a police officer would go to, there would be some traumatic incidents that would happen. So anything that has to do with mental well-being as well as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the best tools, as I've mentioned, the tools that I used to refer to before. Emotional intelligence is one of them. It is quite crucial for anyone that is on a leadership level, as well as even between the regular employees, to have a better communication with one another, to have smoother, let's hope, smoother communication process in order for the projects to progress. I can also talk about some of the topics that we have in which we are actually getting the submission from students and academics. We have something that is called call for papers. So basically a portal for abstract submission. If you have a publication and you want to discuss your paper, so you can do it through the portal. The topics are quite interesting. We have policing the metaverse. We have the topic of basically how to prevent crimes through creating certain environmental designs, so through urban design. And also policing and the issue of policing and the issue of climate change is also quite an important topic to talk about. So anything that has to do with the current smart workforce of a police force, as well as preparing quite a good future policing workforce. So these are some of the topics that we can talk about.
So picking up specifically on the trauma that some police officers are subjected to,
Yeah.
how can officers be better supported after working on a traumatic crime scene?
Okay, so there are a couple of things that I can talk about when it comes especially to this topic. Of course, there are several things that you can do. Now, I can talk from the point of view of someone that is basically producing the program and then looking into these professionals. We were quite happy and quite honored to have a couple of sessions in 2022. However, going forward in 2023, we have a whole track dedicated to leadership and officers' well-being. When it comes to dealing with trauma for a police officer, first of all, I think it is quite crucial the time being for any police force to have a dedicated department that is consists of everyone that has an basically expertise in mental well-being, whether that be psychiatrist, psychologist, even let's say life coaches. There's this program that I can talk about briefly, which is something called the Post-Critical Incident Seminar. We were quite happy to have one of the experts that were working on this program. It is employed in the U.S. Police forces in the U.S., they get trained actually on these seminars. So as the name suggests, you would actually train your workforce, a couple of them, the selected ones, to be able to assess the police officer after they go through a traumatic mission. So you would create the assessment, of course, go through the assessment and come up with the result, and then deal with what the outcome might be. But I should also mention that even the pre-recruitment process is quite crucial. So having good psychological assessment is also quite crucial. Other than the post-critical incident seminars, there are new topics that have been circling around the world when it comes to dealing with trauma for police officers. There's something called EMDR, a type of therapy. It is narrowed and quite, the main goal of it is dealing specifically with trauma, nothing else. It's not like cognitive behavioral therapy. So yeah, I would say these couple of things are quite crucial to have a workforce that are ready to deal with these issues, as well as training your police officers that are going into these missions to expect certain things to happen, and then give them the tools to be more emotionally aware, and then how to deal with whatever that might happen or what they would actually be exposed to.
Asma, thank you very much for expanding out what we can expect to see at the conference. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with the audience at Security on Screen.